There's something powerful about knowing you are favored by God. Not just existing in this world, but walking through it with a divine hand over you like you're chosen. But here's the brutal truth most people don't want to hear. God doesn't favor laziness, weakness, or cowardice. He doesn't pour blessings on the undisciplined. He doesn't reward the man who sleeps in every day, scrolling on his phone, escaping from reality. God favors the ones who show him they are ready for war. The ones who dominate their own mind, master their time, and serve with unwavering loyalty. If you want to be one of God's favorites, you better stop living like the average man. Average people get average results. They complain, they blame, they wait. And while they're whining about why life is unfair, the real ones are rising early, pushing through pain and building something with their bare hands. God didn't send you here to be another name that fades into the background. He sent you here with a mission, and he's watching. Every second of your day is an opportunity to prove yourself worthy of his favor. He watches what you do when no one else sees. Do you discipline yourself when it's hard? Do you protect your family even when you're exhausted? Do you stand up for truth when it's dangerous? These aren't just actions, these are proofs of your worth. Strength is a choice, and God favors the strong. Not just physical strength, though that matters too, but strength of character, strength of purpose. When the world breaks people, God looks for the one who refuses to bend. When temptation lures the masses, he watches for the one who says no. You think heaven is earned through excuses? You think paradise is for the man who folded every time life got hard? No. God is watching to see if you can be trusted with more. Because if you can't manage yourself, how can you manage blessings? Every time you want to stay in bed but get up anyway, that's a signal. Every time you want to lash out in anger but show restraint, that's strength. Every time you feel broken but stand up like a warrior, that's the behavior of someone rising in ranks. God doesn't need you to be perfect. He needs you to be disciplined. The path to favor isn't paved with ease. It's soaked in struggle, and most people don't have the courage to walk it. But if you do, if you commit to living like your life means something, then the world will see the power that flows through a man who's backed by something divine. Look around. Weak men are everywhere. They chase comfort like it's a god. They feed their body with trash, feed their mind with lies, and wonder why their life feels hollow. But the ones who walk with favor, they live differently. They choose challenge. They say no to what breaks others. They sacrifice. They lead. They endure. And you know what happens? Everything starts to align for them. Not because the world is easy on you, but because they've earned the right to be elevated. When you live with purpose, God makes room for you where there was no room before. Loyalty is another key. God doesn't bless betrayal. He blesses those who stand firm when others lie, cheat, and turn their backs. His favor rests on the ones who remain solid. Loyalty to your principles. Loyalty to your word. Loyalty to those who count on you. That's rare, and what's rare is valuable. The more loyal you become, the more you will feel your life gain strength. People will respect you. Enemies will fear you, and heaven will support you. So what does this mean? Practically, it means every moment counts. You don't need a title or a crowd or a platform. You need a decision. A decision to live like you've been chosen. That means waking up early even when it's hard. It means praying when no one is watching. It means training your body and sharpening your mind every single day, because you understand this life is a battlefield. It means cutting off distractions, distancing yourself from weak people, and drawing near to purpose. Favor is not an accident. It's a result of discipline, struggle, sacrifice, and loyalty. And if you keep showing up with these traits, day after day, week after week, then the world will notice. Your energy will shift, your presence will command attention, and slowly, without even trying to prove anything, you'll realize you're not walking alone. You're being supported. You're being tested and elevated, refined and rewarded. You've become one of God's favorites, not through talk, but through action. And don't expect applause. Don't wait for people to understand. This path is lonely. Being chosen means being different. While others party, you plan. While others sleep, you grind. While others complain, you adapt. And it'll feel unfair. It'll feel like you're carrying more than most. That's because you are. But that's also why you'll rise when others fall. The burden you carry today will become the badge of honor tomorrow. In the end, becoming one of God's favorites isn't about being the loudest. It's about being the most committed, the most disciplined, the most relentless. Stop asking for ease. Ask for strength. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start acting like you were born to lead. Be ruthless with your time, loyal with your mission, and relentless with your growth. And every time you feel like quitting, remember, God is watching, and He favors the one who never bows. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your mentor. It's not there to destroy you, it's there to forge you. Every trial, every betrayal, every sleepless night you've endured, it wasn't meaningless, it was a test. A divine test to see who you really are when life strips everything away. Weak people collapse under pain. They cry about fairness. They beg for shortcuts. But the chosen ones, the ones destined to become elite, they don't just go through pain, they master it. They use it. They allow it to sharpen them until they become unstoppable. You will never meet a strong man who had an easy life. Read that again. Every real man you admire, every man who walks with presence, respect, and power, he was carved by pain. Not the pain that you run from, the pain that breaks most people, the pain that isolates you, crushes your plans, destroys your ego, and forces you to rebuild from the ground up. God doesn't throw gold into the fire. He throws the ones he wants to turn into gold. He throws the ones he sees potential in. Because fire doesn't destroy true value, it reveals it. Look at the world today. Everyone wants comfort. Everyone wants soft. People are addicted to numbness, entertainment, distraction, validation. They avoid pain like it's the plague, and that's exactly why they stay weak. Comfort breeds weakness. You don't grow when things are easy. You grow when you're pushed beyond your limits, when your back is against the wall and there's no option but to rise. When life gets brutal, you either become better or you become bitter. It's a choice. The pain you feel when you're betrayed, when you lose everything, when you're rejected, when you're misunderstood, that pain is the turning point. Most people drown there, but the strong ones, they don't just survive, they transform. They let the pain cut away what doesn't serve them. They let it purify them. Every scar becomes a reminder. I didn't fold, I didn't quit, I didn't become a victim. I became a weapon. Here's the thing, God uses pain to separate the real from the fake. Anyone can act disciplined when life is smooth. But what about when you lose your job? When you're heartbroken? When everyone doubts you? That's when your true character shows. That's when God is watching. Are you going to curse the storm? Or are you going to become the storm? Are you going to collapse? Or will you fight harder? Don't waste your pain. That's the biggest mistake people make. They suffer for no reason because they refuse to turn it into power. They cry over the same problem for years, instead of rising above it. They replay the betrayal in their heads, instead of building something stronger from it. Pain is a signal. It's telling you it's time to level up. You can't control what life throws at you, but you can control your response. And the stronger your response, the closer you get to that elite mindset where nothing phases you anymore. Imagine you're in the gym. The growth doesn't happen during the first few reps. It happens when it starts burning, when your muscles scream for mercy, and you go anyway. Life is the same. Emotional pain, mental exhaustion, heartbreak, that's your spiritual gym. You don't get stronger by running from it. You get stronger by pushing through it. And just like in the gym, you'll come out sore, but more powerful than ever. But there's another level to this. Pain creates clarity. When you're in pain, fake people disappear. Distractions lose their appeal. Your priorities become crystal clear. You find out what really matters. You find out who really matters. Pain is a filter, and sometimes God allows pain to clear the path for your purpose. You thought the setback was a punishment, but it was a redirection. You thought the heartbreak was cruel, but it saved you from wasting years. You thought the failure meant the end, but it was the start of something stronger. Embrace the pain. Don't try to numb it. Don't hide from it. Feel it, face it, and then rise from it. People who run from pain spend their entire lives in a loop of weakness. But people who embrace it, those are the ones who become leaders, kings, warriors. They walk with quiet confidence, because they've been through hell and didn't come out empty-handed. They came out wiser, sharper, unshakable. And here's the real reward. The more pain you endure and rise through, the more God begins to trust you. That's the divine exchange. If you're wondering why you haven't leveled up yet, ask yourself, how did you handle the last test? Did you complain? Did you break? Or did you show God that you can handle more? Favor doesn't come to the ones who avoid hardship. It comes to the ones who carry it with strength. You want to be favored? Show God that pain doesn't stop you. Show him that betrayal doesn't break your integrity. Show him that failure doesn't kill your discipline. Show him that pressure only makes you move faster, train harder, pray deeper. That's how you prove yourself. That's how you graduate from average to chosen. That's how you join the ranks of men who walk with divine backing. Remember, this world respects strength, but God respects growth through pain. There is nothing noble about suffering in silence, if you're not using that suffering to become better. Every moment you're in pain is a chance to build something unbreakable inside of you. It's a hammer. Let it strike you, let it mold you, let it destroy the version of you that was weak, and give birth to the version of you that nothing and no no one can stop. Stop asking for an easier life. Ask to become stronger. Ask for the mindset that doesn't just survive storms, it walks into them. Because once pain no longer controls you, nothing else can. That's when you become dangerous. That's when you become powerful. That's when you become favored. Time is not just ticking away, it's being spent. Every second that passes is part of your personal currency, and once it's gone, it's never coming back. You don't get refunds on time. You don't get extra hours just because you wasted yesterday. God handed you a fixed amount of time the moment you were born, and whether you like it or not, the clock has been counting down ever since. The people who understand this, truly understand it, live differently. They move with urgency. They make choices that reflect a clear awareness that every minute counts. That's what separates the great from the average. That's what separates God's favorites from the forgettable. Most people live like they've got forever. They sleep in without purpose, scroll for hours on garbage content, waste time gossiping, binging, escaping, and then they wonder why they feel empty, why their lives lack depth, why their goals are still just dreams. It's because they're bankrupt. Not financially, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally bankrupt. Because they've wasted the only currency that truly matters, time. They don't treat time like it's sacred. They treat it like it's disposable. And that's the fastest path to mediocrity. You think success just happens. You think legacy builds itself. No, it's bought with time. You want to be great. Pay in hours, pay in minutes, pay in early mornings, late nights, and focused effort. Time is the price for everything meaningful. The relationships you want, the body you dream of, the wealth you crave, the impact you hope to make, they all require time, but not just random time, focused, intentional time. Because it's not about being busy, it's about being productive. And most people are busy doing nothing. Wake up. Stop living like you've got time to waste. You don't. Every breath you take is a second closer to your final one. You can't afford to spend another day on autopilot. You can't afford to keep saying I'll do it tomorrow, because eventually, you're going to run out of tomorrows. The people who win in this world are not the most talented. They're not the most lucky. They're the ones who respect time so much, they refuse to waste it. Every day is a transaction. And if you're not investing your time in something that builds you, you're spending it on something that destroys you. Think about it. What did you do today? Was it meaningful? Did it move you closer to your mission? Or did you drift, distracted by noise, controlled by your impulses, numbed by routine? Be honest with yourself, because until you get brutally honest, nothing will change. Time doesn't care about your excuses. Time doesn't care about your pain. It moves forward, with or without you. So you better start moving with it, because if you don't master your time, it will master you. Time is the difference between the man who builds an empire and the one who watches others rise. It's the difference between the one who becomes legendary and the one who disappears without a trace. That's why the elite guard their time like it's gold, because it is. They don't entertain distractions. They don't waste hours arguing with people who don't matter. They don't give energy to things that don't align with their purpose. They live on mission, because they know that every second matters. And the beauty of time is this: it's the great equalizer. No matter who you are, you get the same 24 hours as everyone else. The question is, how are you using it? Are you building? Or are you escaping? Are you growing? Or are you decaying? There's no standing still. You're either evolving or eroding. Every second is momentum in one direction or the other. That's why discipline is so crucial, because without it, time slips through your fingers like water. You look up, and a year has passed, and you're still the same. Same goals, same habits, same regrets. But when you master time, you master life. You become intentional. You schedule your priorities. You train your body. You train your mirror. You feed your spirit. You build real value. And suddenly people begin to notice. Opportunities start showing up. Doors open. Not because life became easier, but because you stopped wasting the time God gave you. And when you respect the gift of time, He gives you more. Not in hours, but in results, in growth, in influence, in favor. That's how you become one of God's favorites. You stop treating time like a toy, and start treating it like a weapon. You use it to sharpen your purpose. You use it to build something real. You understand that every second is a chance to lead, to improve, to dominate. And you don't hand your time out freely. You don't give your time to everyone and everything. You protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. It's not just about hustle, it's about alignment. Are you spending your time on what matters? Are you aligning your actions with your values? Because if your calendar is full of meaningless activity, your life will reflect that emptiness. But if your schedule schedule is packed with purpose-driven movement, training, learning, building, serving, then your life will be filled with results, growth, and divine momentum. Don't wait for motivation. Create structure, build systems, wake up earlier, eliminate distractions, learn to say no, reclaim your day, because no one's coming to manage your time for you. That's your job, that's your responsibility, and the moment you stop outsourcing your focus to the world, everything will begin to shift. You'll feel powerful again, you'll feel grounded again, you'll start moving with intention, not just speed. That's when time starts to work for you. In the end, you get what you repeatedly do with your time. You don't rise to your dreams, you fall to your patterns. So create patterns of greatness. Create habits that reflect who you want to become. Because time is a mirror, it reflects back what you've prioritized. Waste it and you waste your life. Invest it, and you build a future that demands respect. The clock is ticking, and the only question left is, what are you doing with the time you've been given? You can feel it even before they say a word. That energy, that unexplainable pull. Real attraction is never just about looks, never just about words. It's presence. When someone is genuinely drawn to you, it's not subtle, it's not confusing, it's consistent, powerful, and focused. Just like you don't need to convince people to respect you when you carry power, you don't need to question attraction when it's real. You command it by who you are, not by what you say. Because in this world, energy doesn't lie. And when someone is into you, it shows in everything they do. People try to complicate it. They overanalyze messages, replay conversations, search for signals that might not even exist. But the truth is much simpler. Real attraction leaves no doubt. If someone is truly into you, their actions will speak for them. They'll show up, they'll check in, they'll want to be near you, talk to you, support you, and they won't hide it. No games, no manipulation, just raw, honest attention. They are curious about you. They care about what matters to you. They invest not just time, but effort. Attraction isn't passive. It's not silent. When someone is drawn to your presence, they will make themselves known. Their eyes will track you in a room full of people. They will lean in when you speak. They will listen, not just to respond, but to understand. And they'll remember the little things you say, because they're mentally collecting pieces of who you are. That's how attraction works. It's focused. It's locked in. They're not looking around for better options. They already know what they want, you. And you know why this matters. Because the same principles apply to everything in life. The way people are drawn to you is a reflection of your energy. The stronger, clearer, and more purpose-driven your energy is, the more magnetic you become. You don't need to chase. You don't need to prove. You simply exist with strength, and those meant for you will feel it before you even speak. That's the kind of presence that can't be faked. You either have it, or you don't. And the only way to have it is to become the kind of person who moves with intention and clarity. You want to know who's really into you. Watch what they prioritize. Do they make time, or do they make excuses? Do they initiate, or do they wait to be chased? Do they protect your name behind your back, or do they stay silent when others speak? Because attraction isn't about compliments, it's about consistency. Anyone can say they're into you, but only the real ones will prove it with action. And when someone is drawn to you, they won't let too much time pass without connecting. They won't leave you guessing, because your presence is too valuable to ignore. People try to act unbothered. They try to play it cool, but when attraction is real, the mask eventually slips. Their body language betrays them. The tone of their voice softens when they talk to you. They make sacrifices for your comfort. They get protective over your peace. Why? Because they don't want to lose access to you. They sense your worth, even if they can't fully explain it. And when someone senses your worth, they move differently. You can't teach this. It's instinctive. But don't get it twisted. This is not about ego. This is not about needing attention or validation. This is about recognizing the difference between surface-level interest and deep, undeniable attraction. When it's surface level, it fades fast. It's inconsistent, confusing, flaky. But when it's real, it grows, it evolves, it deepens, and it creates a sense of safety that doesn't need constant reassurance. You feel seen. You feel chosen. Not because they said it, but because they show it. And here's where your power comes in. You don't chase attraction. You don't lower your standards to force interest. You elevate yourself to the point where only the ones with real intentions can keep up. Your presence becomes a filter. The ones who can't handle your intensity will fall off. The ones who are intimidated by your purpose will fade. But the ones who are drawn to your spirit, your mind, your energy, they will step up. They'll rise to the level required to stand beside you. Because real attraction pushes people to be better. It doesn't drain, it inspires. You're not meant to be begging for attention.
You're meant to be commanding respect. The kind of respect that makes people look twice. The kind of presence that makes the room pause when you walk in. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you've put in the work, when you've disciplined yourself, when you've built your values, forged your strength, and sharpened your focus. That's when you stop wondering who's attracted to you. Because the right people will make it clear. They'll gravitate to you, not because of what you wear or what you say, but because of who you are. And let's not forget, attraction isn't always romantic. Some people are drawn to your energy because it feels like home, like clarity, like stability. And when you live with purpose, people will want to be near you just to absorb it. That's why you need to guard your presence. Not everyone deserves access. Not everyone deserves to know your heart. So watch closely. Who respects your time? Who lifts your spirit? Who shows up when you don't have anything to offer but your presence? That's who's truly attracted to you. In a world full of distractions, attraction is focus. In a world full of noise, attraction is attention. You don't need to be loud to be felt. You don't need to beg to be wanted. Just become undeniable. Become so clear in who you are that only the ones aligned with your energy even dare to step forward. And when they do, you'll feel it. You won't have to guess, because the ones meant for you won't confuse you. They'll connect, commit, and protect. This is the level where games die and real connection begins. This is where surface fades and substance thrives. So stop chasing, stop guessing, start becoming, and you'll never have to question real attraction again.